So today's session is being conducted by Yash Agrawal, who in his about 10, 11 years of experience has done only sales, right? From, we went to the same undergrad, we did engineering in the same college. We were 1 year apart. But since his engineering days, he's been into sales. He's led sales for a lot of organizations. He's done it independently, and he's led and trained teams to do it. And about three and a half years ago, he started his own firm that leverages that entire expertise that he's built over his career to do just sales focused for his clients, right? So I'll hand it over to Yash in just a minute. As we go through the slides, whatever questions you have that are sort of relevant or contextual to that particular slide, please feel free to ask those questions in the chat box. Yash will take up those questions at the end of every slide. If there are any generic or broad-based questions, he will sort of take them up towards the end. Yeah, but please feel free to ask whatever questions you have during the session itself in the chat box. All right, Yash, over to you.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Mir, for the kind introduction. And thank you all of you who are here to attend the session today. I'd make sure that I share all the value that I have, and I can answer all the questions that you probably have on your mind as well. Also, happy pre-Valentine's. I don't know if that's a term, but yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead. I'll share my screen and talk through things. Also, like as Mihir introduced me, I have been working for the past 10 years in B2B sales. And I have, like, primarily out of engineering college, I joined this company called BIS Research, was the 5th employee, like an early employee. And we scaled that business to 7 figures in annual revenue, primarily via cold outreach. Bootstrap company. So that is where I kind of learned the tricks of the trade, experimented, failed, and eventually started this firm wherein we work with B2B companies, helping them generate leads via cold outreach. So yeah, been running this thing for many clients. So lots of failures, successes as well. So yeah, that's what I'm here to share with you. And yeah, if there are any questions, feel free to add them, and I'll be happy to answer them. So yeah, here we go. I'll just share my screen. Just a second, just share my tab.
Before we begin, I just want to tell everyone that you will receive an email with Yash's Calendly link, Google Calendar link. So you can schedule a one-on-one call with him directly for any specific questions that you have, or any doubts, any follow-ups that you have that are very specific to your use case. Please feel free to schedule a call with him through the link.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes.
So yeah, so here we go. So the topic of today's conversation or today's session is how to acquire US clients through cold outreach. First of all, why are we talking about the US market? All of us know that, yeah, it's a great market to target. Everyone looks forward to getting US clients, but why? So primarily so because these companies are early adopters of innovation, or the US market in general is early adopters of innovation. The purchasing power is usually very high. Also, we have the price arbitrage advantage. As Indians, if you're offering products and services to the US market, you have this advantage of probably producing it at a lower cost and being able to offer that at a competitive rate to the US market. The market size is huge. US is a big country in terms of purchasing power as well as population. Also, the style of working in the US, being a capitalistic country, it is often very direct. And if they see the value, they tend to move fast on it. They are in general high risk takers or above average risk takers. So if they see value, they would want to move fast on it, and they would want to try out your thing. This is not the case in European markets or the other markets, which try to be more conservative in general. So yeah, so that's primarily a few reasons why you should think about focusing on the US market, right? Now, in general, what are going to be the key takeaways from today's session? These are the 10 points that I'm going to focus upon. It's basically a journey from gathering market insights to making sure that your emails are getting delivered, and then you're able to get results from the emails that you send. I'll also talk about when not to do cold outreach, and specifically how AI is taking over the world of B2B sales. So what I see as the future and what we can probably focus on. So yeah, so this is the structure of today's event. If there's something that I've not covered in the session, feel free to ask me, and if I have knowledge about it, I'll be happy to add on. Right. So yeah. So the first topic is about market insights. And look, this is not something that is very focused on companies that are just in a very early stage, like the 0 to 1 stage. It is also very important for companies that have probably found product market fit in one industry or one niche, one market segment, like an SMB market or an enterprise market. But it is, yeah, so it is important for them as well, because if they are wanting to shift industries, if you're targeting, if you have PMF in the insurance market, but now you want to move in the fintech industry as well, you still need to gather market insights from that market. You can't just go directly into the fintech market and say that our product is a huge hit in the insurance space. Let's apply the same strategy to the fintech market and we'll succeed. So as a matter of fact, we tried doing this for a US-based YC OCR software. And these are really talented folks, like really talented founders who understand their product really well. And they told me that we want to target this new market. And at that point of time, we just jumped into the market without having any understanding of what are the nitty-gritties of this particular market. What do the customers want? What do they value? And eventually what we realized is that even our targeting wasn't correct. We were targeting insurance companies, but the task for which we were trying to target them, they had outsourced that work to some third-party service vendors. So your ICP, your ideal customer profile changes completely. You don't need to target insurance companies. You need to target these third-party service companies. And so gathering market insights, even if you're in an early stage or in a later stage trying to shift to another industry or niche, is very important. So yeah, so before, what you're trying to do is you're trying to sell to anyone with a need of your product or service. So it's a very broad-based strategy. You do not specifically cater to someone. Clients would request for features and service on the go to you. It'll be very much custom, and you won't be able to keep pace with it, and you won't understand what to prioritize. The team is not focused as a result of this, and there is unpredictable growth because even your marketing strategies, they do not have a focus. You do not know the language of the market. You don't know what to speak to whom. So this is the before scenario. If you, however, run a market insight campaign or do customer discovery, you'll be selling to a very specific underserved ICP. The word underserved is very important because it can be overall a very huge market, but you need to find a market which is underserved and it values your solution rather than competing with all the other players in the same space and trying to eat each other's market share. So yeah, we basically find an underserved market. We are able to speak our customers' language, and that allows us to build relationships easily. Like for an example, we are working with UI UX agencies, a lot of them right now. Some of them cater to the e-commerce segment, some cater to SaaS businesses. And even in that, some cater to early stage SaaS, some cater to redesign projects. So when we're talking to e-commerce companies, there are terminologies like PDP, PLP, like product development page or product listing page. These are terminologies when we use in our outreach, the customer also understands that yes, they have experience. You have case studies to talk about. So niching down or focusing on a particular segment of the industry is very important. Pricing becomes value-based. You're not commoditized. You're not just competing with everyone and saying that, okay, let me outbid this person. You are able to show value and you're able to command price basis that value. And again, brand building becomes, or category leadership becomes easier because you know what your customers want and you can just keep speaking about it and making sure that you are the champion or the biggest player in that particular niche. So yeah, this is the why of gathering market insights. So if you've decided that yes, if you're convinced that yes, I need to understand the market before starting my outreach or any sort of marketing campaign, how do you do it, right? So the step one is to analyze your won deals, like whatever deals you've had in the previous whatever years that you are in business. Analyze them, put them on paper, and understand what kind of customers you are having. Like what are the customers that are deriving more value from you? which are the ones that are more problematic to you. So putting them up on paper is first of all very important. Then pick the right industry basis your criteria. So have certain criterias that you would want to service a particular industry. Like as an example, that there isn't a big buying committee in that particular industry. There's a single buyer persona that can make a decision. There's a very compelling reason for that particular segment of the market to buy from you. So if you can have such must have conditions in a particular industry, you will be able to zero down. Like if you're probably catering to fintech, insurance and lending at this point of time, basis these must have conditions, you can probably zero down on the lending market, right? This is again a macro level understanding that, okay, I want to cater to lending companies. Now, within the lending ecosystem, there are different kind of companies. There can be mortgage loan providers, there can be home equity loans, small business loans, refinancing companies. So you need to again double down on what kind of a total addressable market do each of these segments have, and again, how do they fit into your requirements, like to the service or the product that you're offering and the strengths that you have, right? Build an hypothesis for each of those markets that I assume that, okay, mortgage loan providers face this problem and we solve this problem, and that is why we can solve this problem in this way. And reach out to these companies, these segment of companies, not trying to sell to them, but trying to do interviews with them, trying to understand them. So this is where you're not trying to sell to the market at all. You're trying to have conversations with the market. You're trying to inquire that, are we in the right direction? You're trying to disapprove the assumptions that you have in your own head so that you understand exactly what the market wants and if you're in a position to fulfill that, right? So yes, conducting these customer discovery interviews is really important. The more that you speak to the market and to the correct people in the market, the better insights you will have and the better you will be able to sell eventually, right? So how do you do this? There's a platform called Winter, wherein if you want to pay, you can do it via this platform, or you can just do it manually, wherein you are creating a list of people that you want to reach out to. You're personalizing the emails and you're just writing to them to have a conversation. Look, if you do these hard yards, the process in the future would become much more easy for you. So I would encourage you to not skip this step and say that, no, let me just try selling to the market and see what sticks to the wall, and we go from there. That's usually a very bad strategy to be working with. So yeah, so this is the first part. Any questions thus far? Yeah, good. So yeah, so let's go ahead. Now the second part that we're trying to talk about is the positioning part. That you've you've figured out a niche in the market, you've figured out a customer segment, you've done customer discovery. So you now know that who are you serving? What is the market? Like I'm probably serving small business loans, so loan providers, and this is the value that they derive from us. This is something that you have validated while speaking to them. So this is the market that you're targeting. Now within this market, there are a few hacks or tricks that we have seen working out really well. And to give you an example, like Salesloft and Outreach are two softwares that were built like early 2011-12. This is when these products got launched. These are outreach automation softwares. And they were selling to the enterprise market, like the big companies. So eventually what happened, the feature set were aligned in ways in which only teams that were having SDR teams could use them. So they were positioned to serve that market. Eventually, what people realize is that there are other market segments like the mid-market or the SMB market, which is not getting served because the price point is probably too high for these kind of customers. So eventually, there was another software called Lemlist that came in, and it started adding certain more features to its product and brought in their product at a more attractive price point and captured the mid-market. Eventually, after a couple of years, right now we have softwares like Instantly and SmartLead, which caters specifically to the small business segment or the agency segment, because this segment has certain more requirements, certain other feature sets which are not available in either Salesloft or Outreach or Lemlist. And they have again defined a better pricing point which allowed the market to try out their software. So this is something that I've seen again and again in the market, that if you want to focus on a particular niche, give better features that the niche requires, and offer it to start with, offer it at a very attractive price point, you would eventually be able to make this segment love your product, and you can slowly and steadily have better pricing points as well, which will serve you better as well. So yeah. And how do you know that you are able to position? Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, so can you share these tools that you're naming?
Mm-hmm.
For us?
Can you come again with the question, please?
I said that can you please share the details and the details around these tools? I think you're throwing too many names of tools.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's difficult to get there. So I'm not making notes. I would appreciate if it is being sent over after the call.
Yes, absolutely. So yes, at the end of the in further, I have a list of tools that you will need to send out these outreach campaigns. So yeah, we are covering that at the end as well. So it'll be available. Right. So yeah, so positioning overall is very important. You need to be able to talk to the market, how you see it as yourself as a different competitor in comparison to the other products in the market. Talk about your approach of seeing the market again. So these tools like Instantly and Smartlead, what they said is that you don't need to pay per license in terms of usage. You should be able to attach as many email IDs as you want, because that will help you increase the volume of your outreach. And this is the way we see the market. So a lot of people, a lot of companies found that approach to be really unique, and they started working with them in comparison to the older softwares, because the older softwares were not providing those kind of features. So this is very important, that you find your voice in the market. And once you have a strong voice, you will find people, like you will find companies that would want to buy your product because of your uniqueness. So yeah, so that's the thoughts about positioning overall. Yeah, so moving on, we'll be talking about the data aspect as to whom do you target and how do you target that. So this is very important. Like marketing is like bribing. It only works if you talk to the right person. So how do you find the right people, right? So that's what we're going to talk about, right? So data. So first of all, let's focus on the total addressable market. Like we talked about doing customer discovery. We talked about positioning yourself in a segment of the market. So if you have understood that, yes, this is the segment that I want to cater to, try to understand what is the total addressable market and try to make it as specific as possible in different segments. So outbound, if you try to generalize things, outbound activities won't work. You have to be very specific with your approach, because a generalized approach does not resonate with anyone, and eventually you don't land up with clients. So be specific with whom you're targeting and why you're targeting them. So as an example, your TAM could be all SaaS companies, or your like if you're an affiliate marketing software, your TAM could be all PLG, product-led growth SaaS companies currently not doing affiliate marketing. So that is a segment of the market that all product-led growth companies who are not doing affiliate marketing, let me target them. Or you could target all product-led growth SaaS companies currently not doing affiliate marketing and have achieved product market fit. So eventually, as you narrow down on these segments, your messaging becomes more clear. You are able to give them a reason that I am reaching out to you right now because I see that you're not doing affiliate marketing. I see that you have got a fan base in terms of you have a market wherein you have achieved product market fit. And this is how our software can expedite your growth, because you are in this situation. So the finer you go into the market, the better your messaging will become, and you will generate more success. So as a quick example, again, another example, your target audience could be all e-com brands, or you could do e-com brands that are using Shopify, or you could do e-com brands that are using Shopify Plus, because that's a smaller segment of the market. These are more premium customers who are using Shopify Plus. Or you could do fashion e-com brands on Shopify Plus running meta ads. If you do that, again, your messaging becomes more refined. But I saw that you're probably running meta ads and you're using Shopify Plus. This is what we observed about your company, and this is how a solution can help, right? So narrowing down on your total addressable market would be really good for you in your campaigns. Right. Yes.
Yeah. Before we go ahead, there's a question by Fawad, but it's a very broad question. So, Fawad, I would say the question is quite broad in terms of the amount of information that needs to be unpacked. I'm sure Yash will have a lot of sort of questions to identify the reasons for why your outreach efforts are not yielding as much result as you're expecting. So please schedule a call with him after the session. I think he'll be able to help you better one-on-one.
Right. Right. Yeah. So I'm trying to give you all the reasons that I have seen that the campaigns do not work, and we can talk about the solutions as well. Right. So yes. So we talked about the total addressable market in terms of the focus area that you want to reach out to. Now, in your total addressable market, also what happens is that, like, look, if I were to ask everyone on this call that who's wanting to buy a house right now, there out of like probably the 60, 70 people that we have on the call right now, only a couple of them, like probably 2 or 3 would say that, yes, I'm looking for a house right now. Some of them would say that, okay, in 6 months time, some would say in a year's time, some would say in 2 years time. So similarly, the market behaves in very similar ways, that not everyone in the market right now is looking for the solution that you are offering. So yes, so this is the bottom of the funnel wherein 20% of the people or 20% of the market is solution aware and also right now wanting to buy or solve the problem that they are facing. 20% of them are only problem aware, not actively looking for a solution maybe. And 60% of the market is mostly unaware of the problem as well, right? So what generally companies and people do is that they broad target the market and they're not bringing out the best audience that immediately wants the solution or service, right? So what I would suggest you is to look into this 40% of the market. And how do you do that? First of all, you can look into intent data. One of the best intent data right now is website visitors. Like, so if you're doing any SEO efforts or any other marketing campaigns, there'll be people visiting your website. If you can capture them from a US audience perspective, you can use tools like RB2B right now. There are a couple of others as well, but RB2B seems to be the most effective one, wherein you can identify visitors, see if it falls in your ICP. Again, you'll have different kind of visitors, but if you have a qualified ICP that only these people that I'm able to serve well, if you can identify them and reach out to them at the right time, that, okay, you're probably reading this blog or you're probably on our website, how can we help you? Or here's a lead magnet, they would want to talk to you. So website visitors, if you are a SaaS product, you can probably think of investing in G2 or Capterra. These websites give you data of people who are looking into your category, looking into your competitors, but this is a huge investment, so you might want to think about it. There are third-party data sources like Bombora or ZoomInfo. These are on the lines of people who are searching on the web for your terminology. So if you're, again, an affiliate marketing software, if someone is typing an affiliate marketing software, they would give you the data, but this is company level data. And what I have usually found out that it is not so useful. So just for information's sake, this is available, it is expensive. And in most of the situations that I have seen, it's not so useful. Rather than that, rather than investing in third-party intent data, I would ask you to work on intent signals. These could be, so yeah, this is what is listed above that this is your solution. Like, I give you an example of affiliate marketing. Companies who are doing a PLG motion and currently do not have an affiliate marketing software, these companies could be a good target audience because they could rapidly grow their product sales using affiliate marketing. A sales-led growth motion would not generally do that because it will require a demo. And so affiliate marketing is probably not one of the best growth channels for them. So different kinds of triggers. Like, as an example, we were working with a SaaS company that is offering, it is a hybrid workplace management solution. So if you're working in a hybrid situation, the SaaS would help you manage the entire workforce. In that case, what we did was, in terms of intent signals, we scraped LinkedIn jobs and we scraped all the companies that are hiring in a hybrid position. So on LinkedIn jobs, you can filter that down. If you can scrape those companies, you'll be able to say to them that, okay, I see that you're already in a hybrid workplace environment. Our software solves for these problems. Let's talk about it. These will be much more like the results will be much better in this situation rather than targeting a broad market wherein you're reaching out to every company and just guessing that, okay, are you in a hybrid situation or are you totally remote or are you totally in office, things like that, right? So look for such intent signals, look for such triggers in the market, hiring signals, people who are attending specific events. Like on LinkedIn, there are certain events that are happening. So if people are attending specific events, if certain companies have got funding. So for service companies, this works really well. That okay, these companies have received funding in the recent past, in the past 6 months. So they would have funds to spend. Also, they probably do not have a UI UX designer in house. The founders do not have UI UX experience. So if we can club all of these things, it'll be a really focused list. And you can tell them that, okay, you've got funding, you do not have experience in UI UX, your team does not seem to have someone internally. Why don't you talk to us? We'll try to help you, right? So things like these, bad reviews, again, if certain softwares have bad reviews on G2 and you can scrape that, that'll be useful. Competitors, followers, people who are following your competitor, that is usually a good intent signal to look into as well. So yeah, so intent signal is demand capture. The more narrow you go, the
Can you
better it
please
is.
can you please repeat the ones again, like this for the services?
Yeah, so for the services, the one that I mentioned right now is the funding event. So if companies that have been recently funded, and let's suppose you are a UI UX design company, for example. So you could check that these companies have been recently funded. The founders do not have any experience in design from their previous job roles, and currently they do not have any UI UX designers or designers in house. So you can lead with this messaging that I observed these things about you, and this is why I'm reaching out. The recipient would appreciate your outreach much more in that situation. Does that make sense?
I think
But
Roshan has a comment.
you
Yeah,
mentioned about the event.
Can you come again, please? Sorry.
You mentioned funding event on LinkedIn, or is it like the funding companies?
Yeah, so the funding that I mentioned is like the company got funded. The event thing that I mentioned is certain events on LinkedIn. So if you can search on LinkedIn, there are several events happening, like the virtual event that we are we are in right now. There are similar events happening on LinkedIn as well. So the people who attend these events have a certain amount of intent for certain things.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Abhijit, can you just raise your hand next time? It sort of breaks the flow a little bit. We'll take all the questions. No need to worry about that. Yeah, Roshan, please go ahead. You have a question?
Hello. Yeah. I was wondering if there are ways to do this at scale. I mean, I do this, but manually it takes a hell lot of time, especially this LinkedIn related hiring and stuff like that. I was not sure if it can be automated or not. So that was my question.
No, absolutely. So I can tell you this, and I'll come to that. I'll speak about the tools as well. The thing is, at this point of time, we have so much information on the web, and we have such good tools that we can scrape anything and everything on the web. You tell me that I want this. This is where my information lies, and we'll be able to scrape that. So any kind of website, any kind of data can be scraped at this point of time. And there are enough tools for you to be like, because of OpenAI particularly, if you use the OpenAI API on certain tools like Clay, you're able to clean the data really well. You're able to play with the data. You're able to qualify the data. So all these things have become possible to do at scale. And I'll give you examples in the tools as well of how we are doing it right now.
Got it. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, perfect. So yeah, moving on. Yes. So we talked about the total addressable market. We talked about intent signals in the market. Now, of course, there is a certain segment of the market that is not showing any intent signals. What you can do with this segment of the market is that you can try to generate demand in the market. You don't necessarily know that, okay, they have the demand for what you're offering, but you can try to generate demand in this market via cold outreach as well. And how do you do that? The best way that has worked for us and our clients is to use lead magnets to gain the trust of the market. So allow me to explain a bit on this. As lead magnets, as an example, like for our service, so we do a lot of outreach for our service as well. What we do is that we like the process is to break down your offering into smaller steps. In our case, our offering can be broken down into deliverability, email deliverability services. It can be broken down into data services. It can be broken down into copywriting services. what we do is we pick up one component of this data in this case, and to our ICP, we offer data for free. That becomes like a great lead magnet, like custom data for free in a lot of use cases. When we are able to do that, the market is able to trust us that they have come up with an idea and they're offering that data for free as well. Let me look at it. This is a very good way to generate trust in the market and make people realize that, okay, I can do this thing. This might be useful to me. So yeah, that's the most effective thing that has worked for us, is that break down your solution and see what can you offer for free that is being charged by the market. Like someone would charge for their data services. They would charge, I don't know, X number of dollars, and we are doing that for free. So that is something that our clients really appreciate. So see what you can do that in your solution, in your service. It need not be really expensive. It needs to be something that you can do at scale as well. But figure out if you can find something like this that will be really good for you in terms of capturing the attention of the market, right? So first step of your solution, a mini course, though you need to have authority in the market to be able to offer this as a lead magnet. Assessments are a really good way as a lead magnet, that you're telling them that via this assessment, you will be able to understand the situation that you are in, and if you need some level of problem solving. So assessments are a really good lead magnet as well. Audits, free audits, again, needs some authority in the market for you to be able to offer free audits. The second thing is before after story presentation. So this worked particularly for one of our clients, wherein they did not have any of the other lead magnets, but they had really strong case studies. So what we did for them is that we said that whatever work that you have done in the past, let's use that as an asset, and let's talk about the before after story that you were able to achieve for your clients. And you tell them that you will be able to share the details of it on a presentation for a limited period of time. So when we were able to do all the steps that I discussed before of being very specific with your audience, making sure that your messaging resonates, and offering this asset as a free lead magnet, we had senior leaders come on the call and say that, okay, show me, how did you take this company from point A to point B, the before after picture. We would want to listen that from you. And there's no condition that you need to buy from us. Don't ever try to sell to the market immediately. Try to see how can you offer free value immediately. So yeah, so this is something that worked as well. Service-based lead magnet again. So we'll do something for you for free. You might want to charge a small amount, like in cases of a proof of concept, charge a small amount, or if possible, keep it free. Loom video can be like that we'll analyze everything for you and send across a Loom video. This is something. And finally, the Trojan horse strategy. So I don't know how many of you have seen the movie Troy. At the end of the movie, they send in a gift to the opponents and say that, okay, we are conceding defeat. Here's a gift from us. It was a big horse, and inside the horse were soldiers. So as soon as the horse enters and there is night, the soldiers come out in the night and they defeat the opponent. So a Trojan horse is basically like Neil Patel uses this really well for his services. He offers marketing services. Let's say SEO is one of his focus areas. So what he has done is he has created a software, or bought a software actually, called Ubersuggest, and he offers that for free or at a very low price to enterprise customers. So his ICP is enterprise companies. He offers that solution at a very low cost, or for free as well, to these enterprise customers, because that is his ICP. His point is that even in enterprise companies, if people want to buy a software, they can't just swipe the card. They would have to take permissions from their seniors, so on and so forth. So I will offer this solution for free. As soon as someone signs up for my solution, I get an idea that, okay, this person is looking for SEO. Like it might be a small thing, it might be a big thing, but it at least gives them a record of an intent that, okay, this person is thinking about SEO. And if it is within my ICP, I will try to reach out to them, add more value to them, and eventually they would want to buy from us. So Neil Patel does this really well. He has poured in millions of dollars in Ubersuggest for this particular reason. And yeah, so this is one of the really good strategies.
Siddharth Saraf has a question. Siddharth, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mihir. Yash, as you mentioned about demand generation, lead magnet for service industry to offer something for free. But generally, what happens if we are saying someone or if we are reaching out through emails or cold calls, if we say them that we can offer a small pilot project for them for free, they kind of just not go for it because they think I have to go for all the data transfer, I have to give access and all those things.
Mhm.
So how do you suggest to counter that? Basically, what we did, we did some certification, but still we are facing some issues with that.
Correct. So look, you have to make it, first of all, try to be specific. Like if you're a Shopify development company, it is specific that you're reaching out to e-commerce companies. Build some authority from the fact that okay, you've also done this in the past, and try to make it very time specific and something that will add immediate value to them. Like when you're offering free work, what happens is your assumption is that I'll do free work and I'll get more work from them. If you can change that mindset to let me just see if this thing will add value to them, like build a Chrome extension, for example, or build an app using a tool like Replit, for example. Replit is really good as of now. So if you can solve a mini problem for them, which is not probably related to the entire project as well, it will help you gain trust of the audience. So that is what I would suggest you to try doing.
One related question to that. So, in IT or in website, it is quite easy to actually give something because
Mhm,
we have access to their website and all. But we are
mhm,
actually providing accounting services and specific to
mhm.
US.
Correct.
So, for accounting, it is quite to give them insight. We have to actually understand their whole workflow, their data flow, and
Correct.
also to understand what is their current issues with their specific accounting or specific accounting team, any pain points. But again, the issue arises with the explanation part. So other than free services, what service industry could offer for getting a lead, means generating lead magnet? Basically,
Correct.
that's my question.
Yeah. So in the condition that you are in, I would first of all look from this service that you're offering. If you can be industry specific, I'm sure e-commerce companies have different kind of requirements for your service in comparison to a SaaS company. So if you can find something common within e-commerce companies, which is a problem and can be solved for by you for free, that will be good. But if that is not the case, use a case study, have a strong case study, like the before after story presentation that I spoke about. You can probably tell that you, via like providing your service, accounting service, you were able to save 10K US dollars for a particular client, and you within 3 months of time, because they were doing these, their previous accountants or their team was doing these errors, and you would want to present this to them. They would want to listen to it. Like if you reach out to a good volume of people, some of them would want to listen to what did this person do and saved 10K US dollars for a particular client. So yeah, that is something that you could do as well.
Thank you, Yash. Just one small question. I will end over here.
Sure.
In case study, what do you suggest? Should it be more detailed or should it be just concise to the point?
Uh, it should be like the email that you're writing should be concise to the point, but you can make it a one pager. If it gets completed in one page, that's really good. Offer that one pager as an asset, or offer them to come on a call for 15 minutes. That will be really nice. So and but be specific with your points. You can't be macro that okay, this was a situation and we just saved 10K. You need to be specific that okay, this is the type of e-com company, they were doing this much in revenue and they had these problems and we were able to overcome these problems, and this was the after picture. So as specific as you are, the better it will be.
Got it. Thanks for your insight, Yash.
Okay, thank you.
I just have one general point to add. In the 0 to 1 stage, a lot of these are experiments. So you will have to try out some of these things. Some of them will not work. Some case studies that you try will not work. You will have to go to the next idea. You will have to try it. And a lot of this, in most of these situations, experimentation does not have an alternative. So you will have to try, fail, and keep doing it until you find a non-intent signal that works for you.
Right. And like, yeah, if you are in the 0 to 1 stage, I would again do customer discovery, more of customer discovery than trying to sell to the market, because even that 1 month of customer discovery is going to save a lot of time for you in the future rather than running in circles just trying to sell something to the market. Yeah. So yeah, moving on. Yes. So we have spoken about customer discovery, we've positioning, we've spoken about data, the TAM, the intent signals, the non-intent signals. Now let's talk about the copywriting part of it. Okay, so you prepared the data. What do you tell? What do you say, and how do you say that? So a lot of people, a lot of companies make this mistake that they would just want to scale things from the get-go. Highly advise against it. First of all, if you have like 100 people in your ICP, for 10 of them, visit their LinkedIn profiles, visit their website, any other assets or any other pages that they have on the web, and write your messages manually to them. That will give you so much of an insight that what I'm writing, will it make sense to them? So don't try to scale things and have certain format that, okay, I'm going to follow this formula and I'm going to make the first line as a hook and then I'm going to have my value proposition. No, try to first manually write your emails. Only then you will get an idea that, and ask yourself, okay, if this email were to come to me, will I reply to it? If you say yes, then there's a chance of success. In outbound, it is not good to have hope as a strategy. If on paper you think that this is not going to work, it is definitely not going to work. So on paper, you need to be sure that, okay, whatever I'm talking about, this will work. Only then, if you apply 10 such strategies, a percentage of them will eventually work. So yeah, do things manually first. Keep your emails relatively short. The US audience does not appreciate huge emails. The UK audience surprisingly likes longer emails, but US, you need to be more specific. You need to be as short as possible, not big paragraphs. So yeah, this is a general advice, but very true. Then personalize your emails or make it relevant. So previously I gave you examples of how you could make it relevant, wherein you could make sure that the segment of the market you're targeting itself is very homogeneous, and that is why you're able to say things that, okay, you are a SaaS company that has achieved product market fit, but is not running affiliate marketing, and you are in a product-led growth motion. That is why I'm reaching out to you. So that is a relevance-based messaging. Or try to personalize it to the person of the company. If you can talk about their mission, if you can talk about the person's career, these are really nice to have things in the messaging. So I'll show you an example after this as well. But yes, as far as possible, personalize and make your emails relevant. Follow up. So one of the questions in the sheet or the form that you filled was, how long should we follow up? Follow up till you can provide value. Okay, you can have a couple of bump up emails as to asking that if they had a chance to go through it. But if you're just following up for the sake of it, there is no sense. Like, they would mark you as spam and your overall campaigns would get hampered because of it. So follow up till you can provide value. Address objections in the follow-up. Like if there are, think what kind of objections would this person would probably have while reading this email. If you were to receive these emails, what objections would you have? You would think that, does this person have the authority to make this claim? Things like this, and try to answer them in the follow-up emails. When using social proof, of course, provide quantifiable results, be as specific as possible. Talk less about yourself and talk more about the prospect. That is really important. 2 to 3 words, boring subject line. It should sound like an internal email. Do not try to clickbait them. That does not leave a good taste. So 2 to 3 words, internal subject line. First name, quick question is one of the ones that you could try. Works occasionally well. Give their company name and thoughts, or the idea of why you're reaching out to and thoughts. Things like that work really well. Once they show interest, follow up till they say no. So this is really important. Once they've shown interest, then you can be like, I would want to follow up till they say that, no, I don't want your service. We have made the decision. So that is really important. And I'll just share an example of it. So yeah. So what you see on the screen right now is one of the outreach that I've done to Metadata. It is one of the SaaS companies in the US. And so, yeah, so first email was really short. This link was really bad, actually, my bad. But yeah, so the founder replied partially via ads. We had a conversation. I started the conversation. I told him that what we could do. He said, sure. I shared the one-page strategy, like the example that I gave. I gave a G2 strategy for Metadata, right? I can open up the one-pager as well. So yeah, this is just a very okay, but the content is really good. It is a one-page strategy. He said, thank you. What level do you implement these? So I answered the questions. He did not reply. Do you like the proposal and want to get started with it? Did not reply again, followed up. Sounds like the team wants to do this internally. Seems like you think this is the best way to go. Did not reply, again, followed up. Back in, again, found something about them that had done previously and referenced that. Yash, I do love your hustle, but unfortunately my head of demand and thinks he can do it himself. Remind me what the price and timeline commitment you offer. I'd share it with him one more time. Again, shared my quote and again made something personalized. Abdullah is interested. So finally, his head of demand generation was interested to speak to me. So this is how it happens. So you have to be, once they show interest, you have to just be very, like I would say, personalized, specific, and you should not give up early. So yeah, so this is how you could probably look at things. And yeah, so eventually we did have a call. We did not work with them, but yeah, this is one of the examples that I wanted to show you, right?
Yash, Vineet has a question. How much do AI generated intro emails help?
Yes, so it does help. Again, depends on how you use it. If you are going to be just plain vanilla in terms of putting in one line, it could help as well. So, but try to be, again, so any manual email that you would write, Vineet, try to see how much of AI can emulate that. And as of now, AI can do that to 90-95% accuracy. That whatever you write manually, you can make that as effective using AI. So if you're able to do that, AI is really good. It depends on the level of personalization that you're doing. So yeah.
Right, absolutely. Thanks, Yash. So yeah, that's what we do. And by the way, like one of our team members, Siddharth, I'm also a finance professional providing CFO and accounting services to the US. So what we do is that we know what to write to the client, but we put a small prompt to AI and get it like in a neater manner to be sent across. And definitely, as you rightly said, a little more personalized rather than just copy pasting, hey, this is what we are and this is what we do. Please attach the deck and all of that. No, I think we try to research about the client. So yeah, understand. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Vineet had one more question, by the way. How much time did it take for the client to reply? What was the time duration or length of the conversation before you were able to schedule a meeting in your story time example?
Yeah, so I am just looking at the email. The first reply came in very quickly within an hour actually. But I had emailed on 6th of July. The meeting got set up on
13th.
I was meeting on 15th of August.
Right.
So yeah, it was like I met his team after a month, let's say.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, Abhijit, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think the connection was poor when he was trying to showcase. So I feel that I lost something.
Sure. Mir, I think there'll be a recording, right?
Yeah, no, the recording is only available for members of NOS. But you will be able to connect with Yash directly. So you can, schedule a meeting directly with Yash.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can you just, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, please, Abhijit.
Yeah, I think you were trying to showcase some emails.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about it like in a second or two?
Yeah, absolutely. So Abhijit, the idea was that once a prospect has shown interest in what you're offering, follow up with them for as long as they don't say no to you. So that is what the idea was. And how do you follow up? Make it personalized, add value, show the hunger. Like at one point of time, the prospect told me that, Yash, I love your hustle, but my team wants to do it internally. I did not stop even then. I said that, no, you need to work with us. This is why you need to work with us, what we can do. So yeah, keep the hustle if someone has shown interest.
Got it. Thank you.
Should I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead, Yash, go ahead.
Sure. Perfect. So yeah, so we spoke about the copywriting part of it. These are general things that you need to keep in mind. Write manual emails first. You'll eventually come up with a draft yourself. Look, there's no secret to it that you use this and you'll be able to get results. Write it manually. You are the best person who knows your solution and service. You know the market as well. So there's no rocket science to it, right? Yeah. So this is the another email that I wanted to share with you, wherein I had written to this company. Look at it. So the first 2 lines are highly personalized. Even the third line is personalized. The first 2 lines talk about a post that his co-founder had made. The third line talks about this person's experience. The fourth line is an idea that I'm proposing to this person. And then, yeah, so that's the call to action. Again, this is a 17th of August. Within an hour, I would say, yes, the reply has come in that I'm ready to talk. So if, Vineet asked about AI. We are able to do such kind of emails using AI as of now. So this was 2022, this was manually written. Right now in 2025, we're able to do this entire email using AI at scale. So that's the kind of things that is possible, to answer your question.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that is one. Yes, just another, I'm probably showing off at this point of time, but yes, Yash, I ignore thousands of unsolicited messages, but like this, but you've got my attention, we can talk. This was a very value-led email. Again, the example that I gave, that we're offering something for free to them and sharing ideas. Eventually, after the third email, this person replied because they'd seen all the ideas that I had to share with them and all the value that I could give to them. And they said that let's talk. So again, a US person. So yeah. Yeah. So those were a couple of examples. The idea basically is like, look, this is how most outbound sequences look like. Want to buy? Are you interested? How about now? Did you see my email? Quick follow-up. Lol, what's up? Did I lose you? This will not give you results. What will give you results is adding value in each step, talking about a value prop, talking about the metrics and KPIs that you could move, talking about the integrations, talking about an analysis of the competitor and how you're different to them and why you are better for them. So things like that, right? So this is what works, not just plain vanilla repeated trying to sell to the market. How to write a good copy again. So if you talk about yourself, here's my product, here's what it does, here's what's so good about it, no one's going to care. If you want them to care about you, you need to care about them. So talk about their problem, talk about the benefit of solving it, talk about what they've tried and what has failed. So, and this is only possible when you do good amount of customer discovery, when you have market insights. You'll be so confident at this situation that I know my customers so well. I can talk to them at length about this thing and I can type on that as well, right? So yeah. So eventually we've completed the section about email copy over here. This is a short idea about what kind of offer you can have for your market. So build and launch your education mobile app. So this is very specific. You're talking about an education mobile app MVP in 30 days. So it is time specific or less, even if you have 0 developers on staff and you support it with the clutch badges probably and the ratings that you have. So if you're able to create things like these, which are very specific, which are niched down, people would appreciate, like you're able to support that, okay, this is the offer that I'm making, this is the claim that I'm making, and I've already done this. So people who have the requirement, like if you're targeting the right people with intent who need it right now, they would reply to you. Perfect. Eventually, what should be the mindset while you're running these campaigns? Give first, ask later. Do whatever it takes. So don't think that the idea of shallow campaigns, don't do shallow campaigns. Have a mindset that I'll do whatever it takes. Whatever the market wants, give it to it. The market will give back to you. So that is the idea. You can't hack your way through most of the things. People want like, let me just do this and I'll get results. No, you have to, like, cold outreach is like a puzzle. You have to do each of those steps really nicely and only then you can win, right? Don't challenge the market, align to it. So here's a quick story. A client of ours, they were a data analytics software and they were trying to sell to the enterprise market. During one of the conversations, I asked him, okay, so how have your previous customers found you or bought your solution? And he told me something very interesting, that most of our previous customers have come through consultants and we want to reach out to these enterprise customers directly. Now, the big thing here is that enterprise customers wouldn't change their buying behavior because of your product or service. they buy their software or their data analytics software by consulting their consultants, by asking their consultants. So your ICP at initially is these consultants get enough deals via these consultants and then go to the market directly, rather than saying that no, I will challenge the market and I will make them buy via cold emails. That's not the right way. You have to align to what the market wants. Do not try to challenge the market in most situations unless you're Zomato and you have truckloads of money. So yeah, that's the idea. Show, don't tell. So as much as you can, show that okay, this is my authority, this is my social proof. Don't just talk about it. Shallow campaigns will not work. Answer why me, why now. So again, if you're able to pick up the right market segment, you're able to talk to them that this is why I'm reaching out to you and this is why I'm reaching out to you right now. So they will value you. Do things manually first before scaling. Spray and pray. It's not that it does not work. It's not even possible in 2025. Like Google and Outlook and the email service providers won't allow you to do spray and pray. Your emails won't even land in the primary folder of the inbox if you do spray and pray. So it's not that it does not work. It's not possible to make it work. It's like, yeah. So that's the mindset part of it. Quickly, I think someone asked about deliverability as well. So yeah. So here are a few things that you need to keep in mind when you're doing things, specifically at scale as well. When you're doing it manually, some of the things you can like make do without. But if you're doing this at scale, all of this is really important. No links in the first email. As of now, no links in the first email. I'll talk about this, but yeah, no links in the first email. Emulate human behavior if using automation. So that is what. First, do things manually and then try to automate. Do not track open rates. As of now, if you track open rates, these email service providers put up a banner in those emails. So don't track open rates. It is useless. And also, Apple has this thing that even if you have not opened the emails, it'll show that the email has been opened. So don't track open rates. Do not use spam words like free, buy now, guaranteed, limited time, etc. Set up these 4 DNS settings, which is SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and custom tracking domain. Warm up for at least 2 weeks before starting a campaign. Avoid using image or GIFs throughout your email, but definitely in the first email itself. Keep the signature simple. Do not complicate it by adding your email ID again, giving phone numbers out always. So if you're doing it at scale, even if your copy is changing, if you have the same phone number, Google and Outlook track these things, and they're able to tell that, okay, this person is probably spamming people or sending the same messages to hundreds of people. So keep the signature as simple as possible. Use secondary domains. Do not use your main domain for the outreach. Always buy secondary domains and set up emails on them, right? So this is a deliverability checklist that you should follow in general. Yes.
Yeah, you go ahead. Surya has a question. Go ahead, Surya.
Yeah. Hi. Am I audible?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I was the one who asked the question about deliverability, and I know it's past the time, so I'll just keep it quick. Will you be sharing this deck along the email with the Calendly link?
I have to think about it. Let me see. I haven't decided about it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing much. I think you covered pretty much. I just wanted to make sure. It's past the time that I just have to hop out. So I thought I'll get the deck. Nothing much.
No, sure. If there's some question, please go ahead. I can answer that.
Yeah, I think I'll book a one-on-one. I think that'll be better.
Okay, perfect, Surya. Yeah. So yeah, moving on, we talk about the outreach infrastructure. So I have listed down all the kind of tools that you might need while running these outreach campaigns. You could be doing cold calls, you could be doing emails, you could be doing LinkedIn. This is the exhaustive list of it. Feel free or ask me about specific ones. Like I've given options of Lemlist, SmartLead, and Instantly. Something might be better for some audience. So yeah, I have given out the best ones out here. So email service providers, outreach software, data, intent, email and phone number finding, email validation, LinkedIn automation, cold calls, so on and so forth. Yeah. So this is the entire outreach infrastructure. Yeah, Roshan, you have the question. Please go ahead.
I just wanted some insights on the email providers. Do I buy from resellers in India? Do I buy something from the US? Because I've read on forums that buying resellers also is a negative signal for deliverability. Or how do I set up a private email infrastructure? Just wanted some insights on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So perfect. So look, yes, resellers is something that we don't do because it's not as trustable. So we don't buy resellers, and we don't advise you to buy through resellers. You could definitely look into buying it from India itself. Like I understand that in the US, Google and Outlook is expensive, is much more expensive. So if you buy it from an India card at India prices INR, that's okay. Like from a deliverability perspective, that hasn't created a problem for all our clients. That is what we do and we recommend. So we haven't seen a problem of buying in Google and Outlook through India. When it comes to private email providers, this is something that off late has become a really important strategy. So in the private email service providers, the vendor that we are using, it is called Maildoso. So yes, this is something that has worked really well for us, and you could try doing that as well.
Got it. Thank you.
Perfect.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, moving on. When not to do cold outreach. So look, this is a really important question as well. Your unit economics need to work out. So I would recommend that if you have a relatively decent size ticket offer, if the lifetime value for client is at least above 2 to 3,000 US dollars, then it will make sense for you to do cold outreach. If you are selling a $99 software, it becomes, and if the lifetime value is not high, so if you see that yes, customers are sticking around for a longer period of time, then that's great. But if it is less, cold outreach might not be the best channel for you. So try to work out the unit economics above 2,000 US dollars. It's perfectly okay according to me. Secondly, understand the buyer journey. If you think that your market does not appreciate outreach, or if they buy via a different way, don't try to challenge them. Don't try to say that, no, I'm going to, because probably cold outreach is one of the cheapest channels that I could generate leads from. Let me do it. I should try it this way. No, don't try to challenge the market. Give the market what it wants, serve it how they want it, and that will be good for you. So don't try to invest time and money in cold outreach in that case, right? So, yeah, so these are the two big things in terms of when you should not do cold outreach. Yes, and finally, so this is what, this is the email that we are sending out right now, which is completely automated. So if you could read through it, saw on like one of the websites, you have 4.8 star rating. This is scraped, and so this is automated. Out of your 77 reviews, 3 are negative ones. Again, this is scraped. And then in the below the signature, we are mentioning the negative, one of the negative reviews, which has a 1-star review as well. Again, this has been scraped. So all of this is automated at scale by us as of now. The second example that I can give you is, yeah. So I saw this negative review by the person and the summary of the negative review as to what they spoke about. And then again, the review in the PS line. So in this, we haven't mentioned the rating and the number of reviews, but we can do that as well. So yes, so everything like this, it's possible to automate at scale at this point of time, and that is what we do for our clients. So yeah, so I think, yeah, that's the long and short of my presentation today. I try to cover all the topics that I think is relevant, but if there's something that I've missed, I think I haven't spoken about cold calls as much, but if there's someone who wants to know about it, I'm happy to answer those questions now.
Vineet has a question. Sorry, Abhijit. Vineet has a question. Our average ticket size is less than $2,000. So what approach should we take?
Look, it depends again. So is your market searching for, like, do you have search volumes for your category? Are people searching for it enough? So SEO could be one of the channels. If not, is organic content important for you? I don't know, if investing in conference one time, the unit economics work better for you. So
Right.
there could be multiple marketing channels. You need to figure out what works for your market.
Okay. So you're saying instead of cold outreach, you can use these platforms for lead gen.
So look, Vineet, SEO is more of a strategy, like a marketing strategy. So yes, so I would suggest certain other marketing activities rather than cold outreach in that case.
Okay. Could you give some sense, please? I understand you mentioned about webinar seminars or these kind of platforms, but a few more sources, please?
Yeah, so Vineet, I'm not talking about platforms. I'm talking about marketing strategies. So search engine optimization, SEO could be one of the strategies that you could probably think about.
Right.
Organic content could be another strategy. Attending a conference wherein your ICP comes could be a strategy. So yeah, that's the idea.
Sure. Completely understand. Thank you. And how is Odoo from your experience perspective, Yash?
So I haven't used Odoo, nor have I heard it from any of the peers that I work with. From what I understand, it is an overall marketing software.
Right.
Like, to give an answer, HubSpot is not good for cold outreach.
Okay.
It is not made for cold outreach automation. You can send marketing emails where people have opted in for your newsletter or something like that.
Right.
HubSpot works for that. But if you want to do cold outreach, HubSpot is not the right software to do. Similarly, my belief is that Odoo is not meant for cold outreach because I haven't heard ever about it for cold outreach use case. So yeah,
Right. I'm sorry. Actually, Odoo is more of a CRM, I believe.
Yes.
And for cold calls, you mentioned Salesfinity, Apollo, and Aircall.
Yeah.
So Apollo we do use. Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, one question. Which platforms are good to source email IDs of potential customers that represent their ICP?
Yes, so I have mentioned it in the list. I'll go back to it again. Yeah, so the ones that we use are these three: FindEmail, Prospeo, and LeadMagic.
Yes, Abhijit, go ahead.
Hey, hi. Thanks. I know we are running out of time. One quick question here. See, we are living in a contrasting world. On one end, we are becoming more and more global because of these tools. And on the other side, this sort of world becoming polarized. Say, for example, we are to pitch our products into a market where we don't have on-ground presence and we are doing this outreach. Do you have any best practices on how do we fill that cultural gap? Now, does the sender matter? And how can we really replace or rather reduce or mitigate the impact of not having a on-ground presence, which obviously helps align and bridge that cultural gap? Are there any good practices that you have in mind?
Right. So look, the only way that I have seen how you can bridge this gap is by being valuable to the client, by being valuable to the market. If you can give more than you are asking out of the client, they would gain trust in you eventually. So that is one of the points. Like, even if you're on the ground and you're just trying to sell to the market, even if they like you, there's no sense if they don't see value in your solution, if they don't think that what you're offering will move the needle for them, their KPI or KRA will be achieved because of you, they won't invest even if you're on the ground. So I would want to just say that have authority in the market, be knowledgeable, and add as much value as possible in your prospect's life. That is the best way to mitigate any of the other shortcomings you might have of sitting here in India.
Completely understand. Yes, really appreciate. Just one more thing, which might sort of concluding thing here, but is that if we were to engage with you, so do you sort of take up the whole engagement, or do you also have a model where we can engage you on a consulting basis?
Yeah, so we work both the ways, Abhijit. Okay. We consult with the clients and we do the execution work as well.
Perfect. I'll get in touch with you offline. There might be other questions. I'll now go on mute. Okay. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Sure, Abhijit. Thank you.
Arpit has a follow-up question.
Sure.
How does the outreach change when targeting a customer based out of India or MENA? And this is in the context of the cultural gap that Abhijit was talking about.
Perfect. Yes, that's a very relevant question. So in the India market, what I have particularly seen is cold calls work much better in the Indian context. So do that for the India market. Even if it is enterprise clients, cold calls will give you much more success. Does not mean that you should not do cold emails, but the success of your campaigns would go much higher if you add cold calls to it. So that is for the India context. In case of the MENA market, what I have seen is partnerships play a very vital role. So if you can have someone partner up, like a local person, maybe a channel partner in that case, that could be a good strategy. Cold emails haven't worked really well in the MENA market for us. So again, cold calls could be another strategy, or if you could attend more conferences, show your face. And in the MENA market, people don't tend to trust you directly, is what I have seen. If you come in through a reference, that is much more worthy for them. So yeah, a channel partner strategy would probably be better in the MENA market.
One question, sorry, Apu. Rahul Sharma has asked, you mentioned in one of the slides not to use words such as free or those spammy kind of words. But if you're providing a free service to them, how do you sort of draft the email? Rahul, please correct me if I've got the question wrong.
So if that is the question, like when you write to them, like if you're offering data, so what we tell to them that here is a list of XYZ audience that could utilize your services. So you don't need to add free. You just need to tell them that this is what I'm talking about, and they would understand it. So there's enough ways to not use the word and offer some resource. Like even as an example, I'll give you an example which is very relevant for today. So last night, me and my team created a list of some companies, and we send out an email for this event. And for that event as well, we wanted you, like some of the members I'm hoping are on the call right now because they're registered. So we did not include the word free. It's just about the event. This is something. So the audience automatically understands that this is something valuable. Let me have a look at it. Right. So yeah, so you need not include the word free.
Yes, Apu, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you could cover the cold calling part a bit.
Sure, absolutely, Apu. So look, from a cold calling perspective, what is better to do is to do warm calling, at least in the US context, wherein you're sending out these highly personalized and relevant emails, and basis that, you are then calling them up once you've sent out the emails, because if they've opened the email, they will have some context as to what you're speaking about. So rather than just doing cold calls, try to send out these highly personalized and relevant emails which are value offered first, and then call them up. Of course, I've mentioned on this list how you can find the phone numbers, but on the cold calls as well, don't try to sell the product or service on the cold call itself. Try to sell a meeting, or try to sell the value that you're trying to provide for free. So never on the cold call try to sell your product or service. Try to sell the meeting. And yeah, that's more or less about it. Of course, it's a rigorous activity when it comes to cold calls. It can be harsh. The pickup rates tend to be low sometimes as well. But yes, that is the name of the game, unfortunately, and you have to go through that.
Okay, I have a follow-up question on that. So, so does the accent matter? Because there's a lot of spam calls or fraud calls going from India. So, does it make sense to have a accent-trained person sitting here, or to hire someone out there?
Look, it could be beneficial if you have, like, I know of people in India who have trained themselves in US accents, and that's actually surprising when you talk to them. But I don't see it as one of the biggest hindrances. Like, if you can lead the call itself that, okay, look, this is a cold call, but if you can give me 2 minutes, I can explain how I can be valuable to you. If you can be authentic and you can lead with that, it works out. So that isn't the biggest of the hindrances, I would suggest. But if you can hire someone in the West and it makes economic sense to you, yes, it will give you some more benefits to it. So yeah, that is totally the case from a timing perspective as well, because someone sitting here in India might not be able to call in the second half of the US market, wherein some people usually would want to pick up calls because they're more relaxed. So yes, that could be one of the advantages with a local person.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, people? I think we're a little over time, but if you still have any questions, happy to stay on the call. Yeah, go ahead, Vineet. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I will just share it here rather than texting. So, hi, Yash. we use LinkedIn, the premium service, right? Sales Navigator or whatever it is called, right? So what happens is that we have limited sales folks using that limited IDs, right? Because of budget and other constraint. So what we try to do is that, and we are possibly thinking from a strategy perspective, should we have more more LinkedIn IDs being created, even though we have, let's say, 3 or 4 SDRs, sales representatives, but could we have like 10 profiles or IDs, LinkedIn IDs being used by them? Could we use proxy IDs? Could we use IDs of some of our other colleagues who are not into sales, but they would be willing to lend their IDs? All, yeah. So you know what I'm trying to say. So I'll just stop there.
Yeah,
See,
no, absolutely, Vineet. So use as many LinkedIn IDs as you want. That's not a problem. They might not be from the sales team itself, and
Yeah.
that's better as well in certain situations. So use as many LinkedIn IDs as you want, and try to just provide value. Lead with a lead magnet or something valuable that will give you better results. And that is why as well, because LinkedIn has limitations, it won't allow you to send a lot of requests. Like if you have a
Right.
premium account, it'll probably give you 200, 250 or 300 requests a week. On a non-premium one, definitely not above 100. So that is why cold emails become more effective, because you can do things at scale, right? And you can follow up as well much more effectively. Here, if someone does not accept your request, you can't do anything beyond it. So yeah.
Got it. And any specific guidance you would have for people like us? So I'm into financial services, consulting, chartered accountant, providing accounting services to the US, small ticket size, maybe $500, $1,000. So any advice around lead gen, outreach, any, overall hygiene factors?
Yes, absolutely. So Vineet, the price point that you're mentioning, is it like the lifetime value of the client, or is
Per
it like
transaction.
per transaction? So, so you
Right.
do
So
like a
customer may give us a small accounting work, which may be of $500,000, and depending
Right.
on how we do it, and depending on if he has more work, he may give us.
Right, right. Look, it's not specific to you, but in lead gen, like from a human psychology perspective, what works beneath is just like reciprocity is which is one of the biggest ideas, that if you give only, then you get back in return. So
Right.
that is one of the biggest things. Authority is another big thing, that yes, if you're able to showcase certain social proof that I've done this, we've worked with so many people in your category, and
Right.
we'll surely, because they just want to reduce their risk. It's not that they don't want to work with you, but they
Sure.
don't want the risk of this going
Absolutely.
wrong, right?
That's the case. Yeah.
So howsoever you can reduce that in
Hmm.
their mind,
Yeah.
that will give you better results. So just
Right.
try to do that. Go with value first, and you will see from your current campaigns that you'll be getting better results.
Right. Sure. Absolutely. And so we try to do a little pilot for them at no charge basis. We try to showcase our capabilities, send them some reports. So a lot of what you said, I think in bits and parts, we are trying to do it very early stage for us. A related question was that the challenge is about bringing clients onto the table. So we find we have the database, we are able to try it. We are able to find the client over LinkedIn or other modes. We are able to connect with them, but they somehow don't feel enthusiastic enough, or they don't feel keen enough to even respond for the first meeting.
Okay. So look, I think I would probably repeat myself if, like, again, so those basics, if you cover them up,
Yeah.
that's the best chance that you have in the
Sure.
market, according to me. You can be a bit hacky at some places, like if there is some LinkedIn post of some influencer, you can scrape those likes and you can reach out to them. But these hacky ways do not like
Correct.
go far.
Yeah.
If
Absolutely.
you can be specific about things, if you can understand the market really well, and if you can be value first, I'm sure you'll be able to crack if you do enough volume as well.
Right.
If your
Right.
conversion rates are generally for an industry low, then
Right.
some volume will help you. So
Right.
that is what it is. And you need to understand that accounting services, how many people are in the market for that? Because if they have an accountant already, to change that, it is a big decision for them, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
they already have some or the other, either in-house accountant or getting it done from somewhere. I think they're just trying to they're approaching us, or maybe they're trying to talk with us just to see that if they're able to save money and outsource the operational work and do more of a strategic work.
Right. So Vineet, in your case, you could try a white labeling. You could try approaching bigger companies in your segment in the West and tell them that, yes, we'll white label for you.
Yeah,
That
we are
is how
doing
you'll
that.
understand the market better. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we have started that. So we are approaching fractional CFOs and not the end client. We say that we are white label for you, and you approach the client, you bill the client, whatever money you want to keep, it's absolutely fine. We are there for you as a sidekick, and let us know how we can support you.
Yes. So yeah. So just increase that bucket of yours. Maybe that too will help you understand the market better. More clients you serve, you speak to them directly, they'll give you more insight for them.
Right. And just one last question, Yash, the free work we do for the client, is there a quantifiable or a science or a formula to it? Like how much free work should we do for a client before we take a go or no go decision?
It depends on your economics, Vineet, right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
you know your profit margins, you know how much effort you would want to give into the free work. So it's just that calculation.
Got it. Thank you, Yash.
Thank you, Vineet.
Yeah, Abhijit, you had a question. Please go ahead.
Yes, so I think so. We basically do IT services consulting, and so it kind of gets difficult to kind of narrow down an ICP, because first of all, there's multiple layers when it comes to technology services. We definitely address and we definitely help problem solve problems for different ICPs in the same organization in a technology belt. Like somebody is into integration, somebody's into QA, somebody's into DevOps. So we are able to tap onto. So it's really not the services play is not really a domain specific play. I know when it comes to transformation or building like new products, it does help to have a domain experience. But how do we kind of narrow down the ICP when we don't have like, let's say if I'm good at real estate, I've worked for real estate, but I can work for retail also, like from a technological standpoint. So how do I position myself for a retail customer with no experience with retail?
Again, so first of all, with your outreach campaigns, you can be specific. In outbound, that is the good thing, that you can decide that I'm reaching out to these people. I'm only reaching out to realtors, or I'm reaching out to fintech people. So first of all, that is possible in your campaigns, and in your campaigns, at least you can say that. The entire positioning does not need to be reflected on your website. From a campaign perspective, you can pick up specific audiences and make specific offers. That is one idea that I'd like to give you. And the second part, wherein you mentioned that you do not have experience in a particular industry, lead with value again, Abhijit. So look, if you first principles thinking, you want something from a market wherein you do not have anything to offer. So you have to create something that you can offer, right? So create something that you can offer to the market, which they will find valuable, and then ask them something in return.
Sure.
Right. So that is what, because in today's day and age, it has become very easy for anyone to spin up an email list and send out emails. So 10 years ago, it would probably be the case that, okay, I'll send out 10,000 emails or whatever number, and I'll probably get some response. Today, the competition in each, no service, even OpenAI is not unique. They have competition in LM space. So nothing is too unique. So it is only how can you show more value to the market, and how can they trust you more than anyone else? That is something that you need to fill the gap in. And because of the advancements in AI, it is possible to create these lead magnets or these valuable things much more rapidly in comparison to what it was in the past.
A couple more questions. How about using LinkedIn automation tools coupled with Sales Navigator like Meet Alfred?
Okay. I haven't heard about Meet Alfred, but yes, obviously, LinkedIn outreach, if you want to automate, I've again mentioned it in the list that I showed. You can use any like Expandy, HeyReach, Closely, or if Meet Alfred is one of them, you can automate your outreach. That's definitely good. Just stay within the limits. Do not challenge LinkedIn. They ban profiles and they don't give you back on some occasions as well. So just don't challenge them. Be careful. Stay within the limits.
And one last question is, any pointers on scraping tools you would recommend?
Absolutely. So again, it was on the list. You can the top on our list is Apify, Instant Data Scraper, Browserflow. These are 3 that we use regularly internally. There's something called Zenrose and CoreDev as well. So yeah, so these 5 names are something that you can note down. But also there might be a case that these 5 might not work for the scraping that you intend to do. So it would require some more research because there are use cases wherein these tools might not work. So yeah, if you do research, you'll be able to find it on the web, definitely.
Awesome. I think we've gone a little bit over time, but that's all right. Hope this session was helpful, guys. We've closed out now. You would have already received the email with Yash's Google Calendar link. So please go ahead and schedule a call with him. I'm sure he has a lot more detailed answers for you.
Sure. Perfect. Thanks a lot, everyone. And thank you, Mihir. It was fun. And I look forward to doing this again in the future if possible.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.